Are you ready to dive into the darkest corners of wealth and vanity? What if the most impeccably dressed man you know is also the most monstrous? And could you ever truly trust your own eyes when faced with the chilling reality of Patrick Bateman? I'm your guide to the cinematic abyss, and today we're dissecting the film that redefined the serial killer genre, American Psycho. Before we peel back the layers of this disturbing masterpiece, do yourself a favor and hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell, because you won't want to miss what twisted insights we're about to uncover. Alright, let's get started with American Psycho. Set against the backdrop of the late 1980s, a time of excess and unbridled ambition, we're introduced to Patrick Bateman, played with electrifying intensity by Christian Bale. Bateman isn't just any Wall Street executive. He's the epitome of the American dream, a 27-year-old with a fortune, good looks, and an apartment in Manhattan that screams success. But beneath that polished veneer, beneath the designer suits and the meticulously crafted morning routines, lurks a horrifying truth. This is a man who, by his own admission, is composed of nothing more than greed and disgust. He moves within a rarefied circle of the wealthy, a cliquey crowd obsessed with status, appearances, and one-upping each other. And Patrick, he's playing their game, but he's playing it with a deadlier objective. His routine isn't just about looking good, it's about constructing a mask, a perfectly sculpted facade to hide the inhuman emptiness within. He craves what others have, and he despises those who fall short of his impossibly high and frankly twisted expectations. This disgust, this gnawing emptiness, fuels his desire to literally rid the world of those he deems unworthy, seeing them not as people, but as manifestations of his own internal rot. He's handsome, he's intelligent, he's educated. Everything society tells us is a winner, but his triumphs are measured in acts of unspeakable violence. In 1987, his life is a whirlwind of exclusive restaurants, shallow associates, and a fiancée, Evelyn, played by Reese Witherspoon, who is as superficial as he is. He's also juggling an affair with Evelyn's friend Courtney, while Evelyn is conveniently having an affair with Bateman's co-worker, Timothy. It's a tangled web of deceit, where fidelity is as disposable as a business card. And speaking of business cards, this scene is pure gold, a microcosm of the film's obsession with status and superficiality. Bateman and his colleagues engage in a passive-aggressive yet intensely competitive ritual of displaying their business cards, each vying for superiority in font, paper stock, and font color. It's a battle of ego fought with cardstock, and it's utterly hilarious in its absurdity, even as it foreshadows the darkness to come. But it's Paul Allen's card, with its off-white coloring, that truly ignites Bateman's rage. The sheer, unadulterated envy it sparks leads to one of the film's most shocking early acts, the murder of a homeless man and his dog. This isn't just random violence, it's a primal release, a demonstration of Bateman's utter contempt for anyone outside his elite bubble. Later, at a Christmas party, Bateman orchestrates a deadly encounter with Paul Allen. Paul, oblivious, mistakes Bateman for another colleague, a critical error that seals his fate. Bateman, ever the meticulous planner, gets Paul drunk, lures him back to his opulent apartment, and then, as Huey Lewis in the News' Hip to be Square blares him the stereo, he delivers a chilling monologue about the band's artistic evolution. It's in this moment, amidst the smooth sounds of pop rock and Bateman's intellectual dissection of music, that he commits his first truly brutal on-screen murder, an axe to Paul's head. The rain, the raincoat, the chilling efficiency with which he disposes of the body and stages the scene to make it look like Paul simply fled to London. It's a horrifying ballet of meticulous planning and depraved execution. And then entered Donald Kimball, the private detective played by a perfectly cast Willem Dafoe. He's investigating Paul's disappearance, and his probing questions to Bateman are a masterclass in understated menace. Bateman, ever the performer, maintains his composure, but the tension is palpable. The film doesn't shy away from Bateman's descent into pure hedonistic madness. He invites two prostitutes, Christy and Sabrina, back to his apartment, and in another scene that highlights his obsession with music and his warped intellectualism, he lectures them about the band Genesis. Afterward, the violence escalates. He tortures them, leaving them bruised and bloodied, all while introducing himself as Paul Allen. This is where the line between reality and Bateman's delusion blurs.
where his need to embody others, to erase their identities and replace them with his own twisted persona, becomes terrifyingly apparent. His colleagues are just as vapid and self-absorbed as he is, and the film brilliantly skews their superficiality. Louis Carruthers, another colleague, flaunts his new business card, and the competition escalates. Bateman attempts to strangle Louis in a restaurant restroom, a moment of raw, unadulterated rage, but he can't go through with it. Louis, in a twisted turn of events, mistakes Bateman's murderous intent for a sexual advance and declares his love. Bateman, disgusted by this unexpected display of affection from someone he despises, flees. It's a moment that reveals the depth of his alienation, the absolute void where empathy should be. Then there's Jean, Bateman's secretary, played by Chloe Sevigny, a character who, despite her own quiet demeanor, seems to possess a strange intuition about Bateman. He invites her to his apartment, holding a nail gun to her head while they converse, a chilling display of his capacity for violence lurking just beneath the surface of polite conversation. When an answering machine message from his fiancée interrupts, he dismisses Jean, leaving her and us to wonder what might have been. Meanwhile, Kimball is still on the case, and he meets Bateman for lunch, assuring him he's not a suspect. This scene is a testament to the film's brilliant subversion of expectations. The detective is essentially walking blind, completely unaware of the monster sitting across from him. The film takes another dark turn as Bateman engages in a threesome with his friend Elizabeth and Christy, again at Paul's apartment. He kills Elizabeth during the act, and Christy, in a desperate attempt to escape, stumbles upon a gruesome discovery: multiple female corpses. The ensuing chase, with Bateman wielding a chainsaw, is a visceral and terrifying sequence, culminating in Christie's brutal death as he drops the chainsaw from multiple floors above her. It's a scene that pushes the boundaries of cinematic gore, leaving the audience breathless and horrified.
Bateman then breaks off his engagement with Evelyn, a move that feels almost like a formality in his increasingly detached existence. An encounter with a stray kitten at an ATM leads to another moment of disturbing logic. The ATM display flashes, "Feed me a stray cat," and Bateman, in a moment of almost cosmic suggestion, shoots the woman who tries to stop him, letting the cat go free. A police chase ensues, and Bateman, with chilling ease, destroys the pursuing police cars by shooting their gas tanks. He flees to his office, but in a moment of disoriented confusion, enters the wrong building, where he murders a security guard and a janitor. In a fit of panic, he calls his lawyer, Harold, and leaves a frantic, rambling confession on his answering machine, a desperate attempt to unburden himself, or perhaps to confess to a world that he knows will never truly understand. The next morning, Bateman visits Paul's apartment, expecting to find a scene of forensic investigation, but it's empty, up for sale. The real estate broker, utterly unfazed, tells him to leave. This surreal encounter highlights the film's exploration of unreliable narration and the potential for reality to be completely warped by Bateman's psyche. As Bateman prepares to meet his colleagues and lawyer for lunch, Jean, his secretary, discovers disturbing drawings of murder, mutilation, and sexual assault in his office journal. This is a pivotal moment, a tangible piece of evidence that could finally expose him, but the film has a different, more psychologically jarring plan. He sees Harold at a restaurant, desperately trying to convince him of his confessions, but Harold, in a devastating twist, mistakes him for another colleague and dismisses the message as a joke, even casually mentioning he had dinner with Paul in London days earlier. This is where the film truly excels in its commentary on the superficiality and complicity of Bateman's world. No one is truly listening. No one truly sees. They are all too caught up in their own self-absorption to confront the horrifying truth. Bateman returns to his friends, and in a final haunting voiceover narration, he realizes the futility of his confession. This confession has meant nothing. He understands that he will continue to escape the punishment he deserves, that there has been no catharsis, no resolution. American Psycho isn't just a horror film, it's a biting satire of consumerism, narcissism, and the emptiness of modern existence. Christian Bale's performance is nothing short of legendary, a terrifying and mesmerizing portrayal of a man who is both predator and victim of his own distorted reality. The film leaves you questioning everything: what is real, who is truly monstrous, and how easily we can be blinded by surface appearances. It's a film that stays with you, a disturbing echo in the halls of cinematic history, forcing us to confront the darkness that can lurk within even the most polished of facades. What did you think of American Psycho? Let me know in the comments below. Did it shock you? Did it make you think? And if you enjoyed this deep dive into cinematic madness, make sure to smash that like button. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe out there.